Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMA, the Argo AMA. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations from the team for being listed on Coinbase. This is a massive feat for any cryptocurrency project to get listed on Coinbase. It is not easy, and it is very tedious, and it takes a lot of effort, ambition, and collaboration. So that's the first thing I want to say to announce the team members here. So congratulations for what you have accomplished over the recent, I don't know how long you've been working on it, I can only imagine, but the recent announcement on Coinbase, this is a major accomplishment for AERGO.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I want to say congratulations first and foremost. That's the most important thing I want to get to for the introduction. So we have a new guest here that we haven't had in our AMA, Jay Nam. How are you today? How's everything? Would you like to introduce to the community who you are in the AERGO team?
Sure. Hi, everyone. This is Jay. I am the Chief Operating Officer at AERGO. I joined AERGO in 2018, and I'm very fortunate to be part of the team, which I believe is among the best team in the industry. And we are excited for what lies ahead in 2022 and looking forward to partnering further with the community as we announce more initiative and services.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I really appreciate you being here. And I just want to say, I see the innovation. I see the expansion of AERGO, and Coinbase in itself goes to show that AERGO's on the radar. It's a massive project, not to mention the fact that before I get into these questions, I just want to bring up the fact that the newly elected South Korean president is aware of AERGO, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, they've actually, the team reached out to us, and he is actually pro-crypto. And he wanted to actually appease to the new generations, and they actually minted NFTs for his campaign on CCCV. So
that's awesome.
I think, we'll see how the new president treats crypto, but we are very optimistic.
That's a major deal, especially that AERGO is a South Korean oriented project. That's major. So let's get into the questions here, because I know that the community is very excited to hear the intricacies of what we have to answer today. So the first question is, when will the AERGO mainnet be updated? Can you update us on any news regarding AERGO Scan?
Well, I mean, AERGO Scan is part of AERGO's management of the mainnet. And recently we had an improvement where we upgraded to version 1.5. The index speed was improved, backend response speed was improved, token information was added. There will be continual updates coming, and we will announce that as they come. But as far as specific mainnet updates, it's happening all the time, and our developers and our ecosystem developers are working on it constantly.
That's great to hear. It's great to hear when a team of developers is working consistently on updating and innovating a platform. You don't want a stagnant platform, because then you create a stagnant ecosystem. So that's a very good sign. It's very great to hear. So now, this is a question regarding the website. What are some changes that are coming to the website? What can we expect from the overhaul of the AERGO website? Can you give us any insights? Is there a date when the new website will be launched?
Sure. So the new website will be launched this week. And we didn't want to make this a regular website update without providing a better quality and access into what the team is working on. So the community can definitely expect a better communication, navigation, and documentation on the website. And among the first thing you will notice on our new website is a new logo and the refreshed structure. So the reason why we changed our logo is that there's a story there which we wanted to articulate as well. We wanted to share our new vision and plan to become the blockchain for the world with the community in the best way possible. On the structure, we have also assigned tabs with dedicated relevant information to the major participants of our AERGO ecosystem. And these are developers, enterprises, individual, and community. So we hope that every participant will find the information there to be useful, and because each part of the ecosystem is very important to us, and we want to increase our engagement with them going forward.
Absolutely, and I'm very excited to see the updated website as well, especially with, when we look at overhaul instead of update, we're going to see, in my opinion, a brand new, revamped, updated 2022 oriented website. And I like how you broke it down for transparency purposes. So that's very exciting for the community. So the next question I have to ask from the community that I'm actually curious, I'm generally curious about myself regarding algorithmic stablecoins is, has the AERGO team thought about creating an algorithmic stablecoin similar to what the Terra Luna paradigm? Could we release a stablecoin which you could swap anytime for $1 USD of AERGO? Is that feasible?
Well, I think we're looking at a couple of things. One, the GemPay, it will have an AERGO gem, which is pegged to the Korean won. We're also looking at our future AERGOFi or PlusFi that we're still working on, our DeFi strategy. We will look at pegging a coin to either the Korean won, or since we have the relationship with Coinbase now, perhaps a USD peg. Those are all up, right now, Coinbase happened a lot quicker than we had thought. We applied and we didn't hear anything from them. We didn't know whether we were going to get listed or not. By the way, we applied for other exchanges and we still haven't heard back. So perhaps some other exchange, all of a sudden, boom, we might get listed again. But it gives us more options and more flexibility in creating a truly unique and community benefiting DeFi service. And we're ecstatic that we have these new options and new market now at the US market to consider as well.
Absolutely, and I like how you highlighted a stronger relationship with Coinbase. I mean, I can only presume what that means with the listing, but that's a very good sign. And that actually segues into my next question, because now people like me in New York and the United States in general have options to get into AERGO through Coinbase, which is a lot easier and a lot less tedious. It's a very important on-ramping device. And this leads me into the next notion about AERGO is, can you tell us about the initiatives in the US with regards to the team being established there? What is the team focused on in the US?
Yeah, I think I touched upon this the last AMA, and we're looking to really find evangelists in the US, right? I think the first thing that we're trying to do is, evangelize AERGO, get more developer ecosystem created, set up in the US. Now that AERGO is traded in the US, this gives us a lot more flexibility and our ability to incentivize people to work on AERGO and look at AERGO, actually. And the other thing is that, one actually has some ideas on, I don't know if I can say it here, but around metaverse and so forth. And we are looking at hiring developers and finding the right developers. I know I said that I was going to find developers last time I went to the US, but I paused it just so that we can regroup and see, what we can do about what specific talent we need for the US. So in the next coming months, yes, there will be job ads going up in LinkedIn and various other sites, hiring for the AERGO US presence there.
That's great to hear. It's great to hear the expansion of AERGO is becoming more of a global phenomenon now, instead of because a lot of blockchain projects, they stay in a regional format. They stay in usually their country of origin. You don't see them usually expand outside of that comfort zone, I'd like to say. So the fact that you're expanding into the US, which is, I don't know, 10,000 miles away from South Korea, that's a big deal. So now I think you touched on this before, but I think this is still a question worth asking. We understand the importance of non-disclosure announcements, but has there been any progress surrounding listing on a U.S. exchange? I think that the proof is basically what we just saw in the last couple of days with the listing on Coinbase. I mean, that speaks for itself. But I guess my question is, I know that there's NDAs, but is there any progress that has happened with other exchanges, specifically in the U.S., that you can speak about?
I think, we are focusing on the larger exchanges and applying, right? So
Awesome.
as far as applying for relevant exchanges, not just any exchange, is something I think the community should be aware of. And the community should be also aware that every time we add an exchange, it's not like there's nothing to do. There's everything to do, because we have to maintain the volume, we have to maintain the order books, there's a lot to do. So we're now very choosy about what exchanges we enter, and we want to make sure that the project benefits, not just dilute the volume from various other exchanges. And I think a lot of people wanted to see Binance AERGO USDT pair. And one of the things that I'm looking at is that was there too much dilution in OKEX and KuCoin, so that we don't have the volume that the Binance wants to see on the AERGO BUSD pair, right? So these are the calculations we need to make when it comes to listing on exchanges. But I think having AERGO USD pair, I mean, I take that over USDT anytime, because me being a US citizen, now I can just sell directly to USD and transfer it to my Bank of America.
Yeah, I have Bank of America as well, so I totally understand that. And not to mention the fact that it's important I like how you brought up the importance of maintaining order books and dilution, because I've seen other projects out there. Obviously, I'm not going to name them, but I've seen other projects out there that get listed on an exchange, and yeah, it's great, but then it doesn't matter that they're on a big time exchange if they have no liquidity. And we are seeing the exact opposite with AERGO, that they're getting listed on Coinbase, and now there's massive amounts of liquidity because of that notion. Yep. So I'm appreciative that you brought that up. And that's very important for the community to understand, is that keeping up order books is not an easy feat. And if you want liquidity, that has to be worked on consistently. So you brought up the metaverse. What areas are being explored in the metaverse initiatives? And are these focused on Korean markets, or are they more global?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that. So we are looking at the whole metaverse strategy in multiple angles, but we're trying to be as bottom up as possible, as we saw success in that approach with other applications of blockchain technology as well, especially in the financial institutions, where we provided the tools to solve real problems, rather than just trying to share or create some kind of FOMO. Yeah, so in our next few months, we will be crafting a new team to come up with a toolkit for metaverse that is geared up towards gaming studios in particular. We are looking at a number of applications that will be publicized through our new white paper for metaverse. But what we're trying to do is not to reinvent something, but try to help them evolve, especially with their existing assets and intellectual properties that those gaming studios have, and in many ways help them monetize their franchise as well. So in short, we'll be trying to fix small problems first, and especially in their monetization area, where a lot of gaming studios are seeing problems in regard to their regulatory environment and their whole perception. You know that the Steam platform just banned other NFT games that try to get rich quick, and their Gabe Newell announced his perception towards horror metaverse area as well. But it doesn't mean that those people are not interested. There are new technologies to come. But what we need is not something that we can just dream of. We need something that can solve real problems. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So we will be updated on this matter.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
I like the dynamic approach of AERGO. They're not, you're focused on private and public, a hybrid blockchain for private and public enterprises, but you're also working on metaverse, you're working on GemPay, you have NFTs. This is a dynamic platform. This is just not one focus. This is a abundancy of focuses, which is really great to hear. And on that notion, on that question, on that statement, what will be AERGO's main focus in 2022? Would you be able to summarize the roadmap?
Sure, I can answer this question. So as you just mentioned, AERGO started as a private blockchain for enterprise. And we have been very successful in securing many use cases in the enterprise space. And I believe, but then in 2021, despite the crypto market achieving explosive growth globally, our team felt that there were not enough use cases that consumers could directly use and feel.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we also think the run-up in price will lead to more interest in crypto, which in turn will lead to more ideas and projects. And we believe that this is the time to start building on such ideas and projects. And this presents many new opportunities for AERGO. So we decided to expand our scope from being a blockchain for business to being the blockchain for the world. And it means that we expand from the concept of being a universal infrastructure service providing hub to secure more practical AERGO-based services that help users to experience and to leverage the potential of the blockchain technology seamlessly. And we really hope this effort can enable mass adoption in the blockchain space sooner. And another angle is on the metaverse and NFT space, which we are looking into, and how we can improve the platform components. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so let me continue on the metaverse and NFT space, which we are looking into. And we are really focusing on how we can improve the platform components for a more streamlined experience. So for example, in response to the feedback from our existing enterprise clients, we are currently building an NFT as a service, allowing them to easily create and mint their own NFTs. And additionally, we will also launch the ecosystem incubation program to foster the rapid adoption of AERGO. So more details of the partnership will be announced soon, so that I want community to stay tuned. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing I really appreciate you highlighted was that, yeah, the price skyrocketed for the last year, but just like in late 2017, early 2018, the use cases were not there. And I don't believe they still are there. They're still not there now, which is one of the reasons why I think that cryptocurrency has gone down. The market has gone down about 35% from its all-time high, because they're not stable. There's little use case. This market's still basically a hype-driven market opposed to utility. which I think is a major issue. And I'm hoping that shift starts to change, but only time will tell. But I like the direction Ergo is going regarding sustainability over hype, which I think is very important. I think hype builds itself when you have a sustainable and expansive ecosystem. But again, that's just my take. So and this is another question regarding cooperation and collaboration, specifically in South Korea, because there are other blockchains in South Korea, and collaboration is important, and communication is important as well. So has Ergo been in contact with other blockchain projects within South Korea? Can you comment on this?
Yeah, I think, we've done work with Clayton and the Clay Swap.
Okay.
We've also worked with Trust First on their wallet and integrating our mainnet Ergo tokens and NFTs. I think we've done work with Tokamak, to name a few. I'm not sure, is there any other projects that we've worked with in the past?
Well, we had light touch relationship with their number of projects, but at the moment, I don't think anything serious is going on because everyone is busy with their on agenda at the moment.
Of course.
And there've been some other projects that have come and gone, so
Yeah.
That's very true. Projects come and go with an innovative and young ecosystem and industry. So that's just a given. I agree with you 100% on that. So here's the next question. Some people haven't received their tokens from the Binance trading competition. Who should they contact for assistance in this matter?
Yeah, I've tried to answer this in the community. We've actually sent all our promotion marketing tokens to Binance as we were instructed to do so. So it's actually Binance who has a responsibility to distribute the tokens that we have sent.
Okay.
We don't have any control or visibility into the wallets of who qualified to receive that right now.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you for that transparency. So I want to talk because you brought up GemPay before, and I think that's important to bring up. Can you expand on what GemPay means for Ergo tokens and how they come into play? Is it similar to Luna's minting and burning mechanism?
Yeah, I think you can look at Ergo Gem as like a Luna token, right? Ergo Gem will be pegged to the Korean won, so that when Korean won gets deposited, Ergo Gem is minted. When the Korean won is withdrawn, then the Ergo Gem is burnt. And having that stable coin gives us the ability to create a transaction ecosystem from a merchant and buyer perspective, or even gift card perspective for marketing. So there's a lot of flexibility. We're still working on finalizing GemPay, but we are, my fingers crossed, we're working with a giant partner that is looking at utilizing GemPay for part of their part of their gift card
That's big.
Yeah, gift card strategy or project. So we'll see how it goes, but it's we're looking at various processes and not tripping on any regulators or compliance issues here in Korea.
Of course. No, I totally understand that. So my next question is, given the fact that Ergo is built on Ethereum in essence, does the team have any intention of adding EVM compatibility?
Well, we do have our ERC20 versions of tokens, but it doesn't mean that we are built on their technology alone. And there we do have interchain capabilities that is getting more and more important as the fee for Ethereum network is skyrocketing and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but just adding EVM compatibility and their allowing clones of popular Ethereum dApps, AERGO is not going to solve the problem. That's our belief at the moment. There has been a number of projects that try to do that, but ultimately, all those dApps just turn back, return to their Ethereum network, and they're at the moment, it's not something that I believe in, and it's something that we can consider in the future. But I think we need to go beyond just providing a way to port or clone those apps on Ethereum network.
I agree, hands down, and I like how you brought up the Ethereum transactions are skyrocketing. I mean, basically, you have to take out a mortgage to do a transaction on Ethereum. So, I completely understand that concept 100%. So here's a question about Jay, because the community knows that you've been traveling to the US very frequently, and you also are a US citizen. So I wonder what Jay has been doing in the United States. How many developers have been hired there, and what goals do you move within the short term?
Yeah, I mean, while I was there, my short-term goal was to establish the corporation, open bank accounts, open exchange accounts. All that has been done. Now we're just looking at, what specific resources to hire. So my next, I will, probably put up job ads very soon and start interviewing virtually. And then once I get on the ground, then I'll meet them face to face. Still trying to see whether we should have a virtual team or actual live face-to-face team at an office. That's something that I really need to consider.
Definitely, that is a difficult question. I completely understand why that takes a lot of thought, especially in the middle of COVID, going into post-COVID. So we'll definitely have to see. So let me ask about this dApp. PlusFi won the dApp contest last year. The community member who asked this said, I can't understand that the dApp, which won last year, hasn't been released yet. Wouldn't it be considered common sense to participate in the contest with the finished product? Where can I see PlusFi?
So we expect the PlusFi team plan to launch their dApp in the third quarter of this year at the latest. And you may recall that the dApp contest rule didn't strictly require any team to submit the finished product. So at the time, the team with a product, even at the ideation phase, could have still participated and won the contest. Yeah. So PlusFi dApp again will be ready in third quarter of this year at the latest. So I hope the community can be more patient and stay tuned.
Awesome. Thank you for that transparency and bringing that up. So here's a question about Blocko. So Blocko had a lot of staff cuts last year. This has been a ubiquity with many companies in all industries given the COVID-19 pandemic. So I don't want this to seem like it's exclusionary to one company. So I just want to make that clear. I understand that most of the people who resigned are competent developers. Are they still participating in the development of AERGO? Their activities cannot be found on GitHub.
Yeah, a lot of the guys who moved on are still participating and are still references for AERGO. They may have resigned from Blocko, but their relationship with AERGO and their love for AERGO still remains. So we still have a lot of stuff from Bernardo from Brazil. We still have our former CTO, Hyun-Young Park, who we reference all the time, who's helping us in the back end. There's many people that have participated in the past that is still in the back end, but not, what I wanted to stress is Blocko is a partner of AERGO, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to expand the number of partners, right? So that we have more Blockos, participating in this ecosystem. So, some of the guys have moved on and created their own company, and like Crispy Whales, and we are working with them as well. So, there's Devrus, OnMyDev, there's all these other companies that are actually spawned from people who actually worked on Ergo from the very beginning and who moved on outside of Blocko and who set up their own company that Ergo now is in relationship with in a ecosystem format.
Thank you for bringing that up. And then a note, the dApps you just mentioned, I actually brings up my last question. So last year, Ergo formed a partnership with OnMyDev and Devrus. The community member said, as far as I know, the two companies consist of Blocko's retirees. What are you doing with them? In particular, OnMyDev, created by former CTO. Is it possible to participate in the development of Argo when it is personally in business?
Yeah, so
interest.
I can say that each entities have a purpose to help accelerate Argo's growth. And we elaborated further on them in our March 2021 Medium post, which I really encourage the community to check out. So in short, the two entities will work in tandem with Blocko, which will continue to serve as our core tech and biz dev partner in the enterprise area. And with the Devrus and OnMyDev team in our network, we believe that Argo will be able to seek a much broader range of opportunities, such as in the artificial intelligence space and more of like a stronger focus on B2C as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that transparency. So that concludes the questions regarding this AMA. And I think this AMA was really wonderful. I really think it was the best one yet, in my personal opinion. Are there any closing thoughts you'd like to say before we conclude this AMA?
Well, I just want to say that, I think 2022 is starting to be a very exciting time for us, especially with Coinbase listing,
Yes.
especially with the US presence, and, Metaverse taking off, our DeFi stuff, stuff is taking off. And I think, to a certain respect, I think, Ergo had a dependency on Blocko doing a lot of projects, but I think that dependency is evaporating quickly. There are a lot more other developers and a lot more other companies that are taking Ergo and developing it themselves or developing it on Ergo. So I think that's one of the big initiatives that I personally have to evangelize more areas, more regions to look at Ergo and develop on it, right? More partnerships.
Absolutely, and not to mention the fact that that the South Korean president is bullish on cryptocurrency and built NFTs on CCCV. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. That's
for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we conclude?
Jay, one.
I just want to thank to our community as they always give us strong support. And we also remind that we are building. We really focus on Argo this year, especially expansion of our ecosystem. So, but then we also try to increase engagement with the community as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you guys for their continued support, and we'll keep rolling stuff out in this year as well. So please keep focused.
Awesome. This was great. Thank you so much for all of your time, seriously, and thank you for answering these questions thoroughly and concisely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.